Happy Thursday, everyone. It is September 12th. We're taking a look at NQ here for a quick session recap. So today, the focus and the watch was whether or not buyers could sustain the directional move from yesterday, the trend day move from yesterday, like we've been talking about for the duration of this week so far. We have seen that bullish near-term activity, which as of yesterday has now turned into a change of character on the higher time frames, right? So a break in that market structure, a break in that downtrend that price has been in for the past few weeks. Come into a session like today, lower expectations. We want to be expecting more of a range bound, more of a neutral type of session. We did see small amount of continuation today, not a full ATR move. NQ putting in about 300 points today. Normal ATR is 430 points. So that's just a partial 70% ATR move, right? Just not a full extension there, but some pretty good continuation from the buyers. Now the question is tomorrow, very similar to what we were looking at today. How long can buyers sustain this move before a red day? We're now, I believe, 4 consecutive days higher. Let's take a look at that daily chart. Yeah, we've got 4 consecutive days higher here. Remember, one of the things we were talking about during yesterday's session recap was the fact that NQ staged a very nice bounce versus that daily time frame Fibonacci buy zone. And it was the same thing on ES. Nice bounce versus that daily time frame Fibonacci buy zone. Now the setup is getting a little more interesting simply because let's take a look at that 60-minute chart again, that hourly chart. We do have the change of character that was triggered yesterday, right? So likely buyers going to show that continuation today. We came into today looking at the prior day highs, the main reference point. NQ spends the majority of today above the prior day high and holding that prior day high as a key area of support for, or rather during multiple tests, multiple instances during today's session. So now if you actually take a look at the setup here, let me clear some of these drawings off, and it's a little bit more clear on the 4 hour there, but we could see it on the hourly as well. Take a look at all the resistance up through here. So price is not quite there, but I would expect some sellers to start to show up in this area. Surely you guys remember a few weeks ago, we were trading within this range, right? Price just could not get above that 700 point. Just could not get above that 700 point. So as we watch price kind of climb into that area, we want to be cautious in this zone and really looking to see, are sellers going to attempt to defend that 19,700 area, that 19,685, 19,670 area, treating this all like a zone, pretty much from the volume point of control for this particular week right here up into the highs right through here at 690. So again, still have a bit of room before price actually gets into that point, but that is something we want to start thinking about on the higher time frames as well. So as far as tomorrow's watch, we're going to be looking quite similar to today to see whether or not the directional move can sustain through today's high. That's going to be the focus. I'll primarily be looking at the action versus today's high, and we also have that 19,430 level of interest right near where price is looking like it wants to close. So depending on the overnight action, we'll have 19,430 and then today's high to work with. Now we don't have any economic data prints tomorrow before the bell, but we do have Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. That is usually market moving. So we want to be looking for that 10 a.m. print and see what type of setup we have around 10 a.m. to work with. Let's jump over to S&P 500. So pretty similar, right? We're talking about a change in character, wanting to see if buyers can sustain yesterday's directional move. Now, one of the best setups from today on ES, take a look at this. Take your fib from yesterday's low into this morning's high. That's what we were talking about and looking at in this morning's live stream. If you caught the live stream, you'll remember this, and price pulls back into that shallow fib, that 23% fib, which aligns with that 55.40 level of interest. That marks the low for the session. Phenomenal bounce opportunity right through there. And now price is back into that mid-August range, right? Right back into that range. So for tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the reaction versus the 5,600. That's going to be a big psychological level and a key level of interest. There's a lot of prior support in that zone from this range. And of course, buyers are looking to sustain this level to push up into 56.20, maybe that 56.35, and then up into the range high would be the final target there. So primary focus for tomorrow here on ES, same type of approach as we just discussed on NQ. Can buyers sustain the move? We're going to be looking at primarily 5,600 and today's high. MCS will also be market moving event, so that is something that we want to be keeping an eye on. Overall, some pretty good action today. Let's see, what was that ATR? So ATR here was 67 points or so for today, or 67-point move, and the ATR is 87 points, so about 75% of that normal ATR. So not a full expansion move, not a crazy 2 ATR move like we saw yesterday, but still some solid continuation. Let's check out that daily before we sign off here. Yeah, daily's looking good. Daily's looking good. You got the bear trap yesterday, phenomenal bear trap, retesting those lows, holds the lows, and just a big continuation play. So similar to what we just discussed on NQ, ES is starting to get into a key area of resistance, a major daily and weekly time frame pivot. So these pivots will be important to watch the reaction, see how price trades versus those areas. So hope you guys had a good sesh. Hope you made some money today. If you have questions about anything, feel free to shoot me a DM in the Traders Think Tank. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the live stream. Take care. Have a good afternoon. Later.